Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Crypto Warehouse. My name is Mike. It is the 9th of October 2023. It's 11 a.m. Central European Time, 10 a.m. in the UK, and we are on the road today. We are not in the office. We are not at home. We are traveling. So today we're going to try and do the stream as normal. We've got 45 minutes to get through what's happening in the markets, an update on Bitcoin, where it could possibly go in the next couple of days. Avax has been, well, not Avax itself has been hacked, a project on Avax has been hacked. We're going to have a look at the hack. We're then going to have a look at the price action of Avax. Then we're going to have a look at $8 trillion coming into crypto, most notably into Bitcoin and XRP. What could that do to the price? We're going to have a look at that. Then we're going to have a few bits of news at the end of the show. We're going to look at what the SEC has had to say about crypto. Quiet Made, which is a film that's fundraised through NFTs, which is quite interesting, something I found. And then we're going to finish with a quiz. So wherever you are, whatever you are doing, let me know in the comments what you're up to. I will give you a shout out. Let me know if you're looking forward to the week. One thing I am going to say is, can people in chat please avoid any comments to do with what's happened over the weekend? It is not the time or place to be discussing that. We are here to talk about crypto. Anybody that mentions anything to do which is untoward will be banned from chat and reported to whichever platform we are on. This isn't what we are about. We are Crypto Warehouse. We stream nearly every day. I had a day off yesterday. I needed a rest. I needed a break. So I had a day off yesterday, but I am back fully refreshed. Take you through the news. Brogan is normally streaming with me Mondays, Thursdays and Saturdays. He's having a day off today as well. So you are unfortunately stuck with the slightly, less positive, slightly more realistic version of Crypto Warehouse today. We're also, as well, don't forget, hit the like button, hit the follow button. We do stream every day. The best way for you to support us is to follow us and smash the like button or the love heart or whatever buttons you've got in front of you. Press all of them except for the leave button. The motto of Crypto Warehouse is very simple. We are not here to make you rich. We are here to try and stop you from becoming poor, and we're going to do that hopefully by navigating you through the markets, helping you to avoid scams. Talking of which, there is another video coming out today where I look at a scam. I will be looking at it and putting that video live later today, so keep an eye out for that. And now we are going to move on to the markets, because as always, I run out of time on these streams, and I do try and keep us to somewhat of an agenda. So what is happening? The markets are up a touch. The volume is nowhere. The volume's 17.5 billion or 17.3 billion, whatever it is. Very, very low. But don't forget, it is a Sunday. It is a Monday after a Sunday. Volume over the weekend is a hell of a lot lower than normal. Bitcoin dominance is on. It's knocking on the door of 50%. We are going to see that anytime soon. Maybe today, maybe this week, maybe this month. Who knows? Ethereum dominance has fallen off from its 20% highs earlier in the summer. So I think Ethereum is just letting Bitcoin do its thing for a while. So if we take a look at the 24-hour gainers and losers, nothing is really up. As we can see, gold is the biggest winner of the day. Nothing else is up. We take a look at our losers. Nothing's really down. 3-4% isn't an awful lot in the grand scheme of things for crypto. So we haven't seen a lot of losers. We haven't seen a lot of winners. It's just a Monday. Because of what's happened over the weekend, when the markets open in America, I am expecting some volatility today, and that is to be expected. Remember what we say on this channel, especially when we look at the charts, we talk about the charts, we talk about patterns and targets for cryptocurrencies. You have to remember there are things that happen in the world which are black swans, grey swans, whatever you want to call them, that impact on the price above and beyond just the charts. So there can be the biggest bull div in the world, or something can happen and that will take the price action completely away from whoever you're watching. So that's something to bear in mind. So I do expect volatility today, but we are going to move on and we are going to look at Bitcoin first of all. I think we kind of looked at Bitcoin on Friday maybe. So I try and look at different projects on a weekly basis, and Bitcoin I try and do to at least 3 times a week. So this is a day ago. Bitcoin bulls encircle 28k. As trader says, big buyer must step in. And I kind of agree with this somewhat. I think what we have is the halving is 201 days away. So tomorrow I might start to list the halving in the bottom right hand corner of the screen. I might start to show the countdown for the halving. We're into the last 200 days from tomorrow onwards. That's still a good 6 months away, 6.5 months away. So we're still a long way to go, but we're in a kind of twilight period where is somebody going to make a move, or are we going to wait for January? Are we going to wait for the ETF approvals? What's going to happen? And I've been saying this now for all of last week. I have been saying I don't know where Bitcoin is about to go. And I'm going to look at the charts after this and try and explain why. So Bitcoin might have difficulty breaking through a key resistance zone of its own accord. End of week analyst predicts. Bitcoin kept up renewed pressure on 28,000 pretty much over the weekend, to be fair. We were stuck in the range that I pointed out on Friday. I did say that if anything was going to happen over the weekend, in my opinion, it was going to be downward action. Simply because we've struggled. We've spent another 2 days in the same range, so that's what I'm going to try and look at today. The $28,000 resistance formed the main point of interest for market participants going into the new week. In the low time frame analysis, I can't say that word today, of exchange order books, popular trader Skew said that the major bidding power was still required to flip 28,000. It's going to require a big spot buyer to crack that area. My issue is not cracking it. My area is holding it as support. That's my issue. The Bitcoin reaction to both that level and the 200-day moving average, which is $28,040, is not the best kind. Dean Crypto Trades, meanwhile, cautioned on going short on Bitcoin should a sudden breakout occur, as this might form the start of further upside. I will say that with Bitcoin sitting around $28,000, which has been the daily, weekly, 200 moving average sitting there, I am personally not very keen on shorting any deviations. I agree. We are still in such environment, but that would likely change upon a strong break above that region, hence me not being too eager to short immediately in case we see a weekend pump, which we didn't see. In the wake of the events, other flagged geopolitical instability as a potential BTC price catalyst to come. My idea is that Bitcoin continues the upwards grind and potentially reaches $30,000 as uncertainty grows. Now, there's a few different theories in there. I'm going to try again and see if I can give you an idea of where we are. Because as the title of my show says, crypto pumping. Now, if you look at the chart that we have been using now for at the least the last couple of weeks, Bitcoin since when? I would say pretty much beginning of September, we have been in this channel. which is moving up. We are putting in higher lows. But where we are struggling, if I come down to the daily, where we are struggling is with this, the moving average, the bull market support band. This is where we are struggling. As you can see, and as I've pointed out on the stream many times, we entered this channel and we have done this. So what do you think is going to happen next? In my opinion, we're going to do something like that. I'm sorry, I've got coffee in my hand. So we're going to come down and touch potentially the bottom of the bull market support band, which is 27.4, and then we're going to move back up, potentially back to 28,000. Now, what's happened over the weekend could cause this month, 5-week channel to break. And if we did break, I would expect us to come down at least to this level here, where we've had a good amount of resistance and support in the past, which is just 26,025.8. I'm being pessimistic because of where we are in the market cycle. And that is that we can look for bullish and bearish divergences all we want. We're stuck in the bull market support band, and we've been here now for 10 days. We can't break up and we can't break down. You look here, we've tried to get above, we've tried to get below it 3 times. We've tried to get above it 5 times. We're stuck. This kind of pattern. Now, this is why I'm saying I am not trading Bitcoin at the minute, because I cannot see for the life of me I cannot see for the life of me where we are going to go. We don't know what's going to happen in, I think it's about 4 or 5 hours time when the American markets open. Are we going to see, if we go out a little bit, talk about this 30,000 range. So this range here is kind of the price target people are talking about. Are we going to see that in this current climate that we are in? Because that is a $2,000 move. Why would we move $2,000 up? I can't see the reason. People like to go risk off during things like conflict. So I wouldn't expect a move up. I'm going to expect the move down. So what I will ask is, wherever you are watching, drop a comment into chat. Let me know. Good morning, Web3. My bullish influence is starting to kick in. It's not kicking in on me at all. I'm not seeing anything bullish in Bitcoin outside of this channel. And at some point, something is going to break, because we are heading towards, I would say, the middle of October. This channel and the bull market support band are going to meet. So are we going to do this and then some kind of decision made around here? What's going to happen? I don't know. I was not expecting us to do this. I was expecting us to do this and bounce off the bull market support band, or break it and use it as support to go higher. They were the two options for me. I wasn't expecting us to get to the bull market support band and then sit there like we're on a train. So I don't think that's answered anybody's questions about where I think Bitcoin is going to go, other than to tell you why we are where we are, with an upper range of 28,000, a bottom range of 27.4. We're in a $600 range of Bitcoin. And I am 60-40, 70-30 convinced that we're going to break downwards and we're going to come down here. We're going to hit this big area of liquidity. I think this is the move for me. But again, I'm not saying short it. I'm not saying buy. I'm not saying anything. I can't tell at the minute, but I'm just explaining where we are. And I am sure in 4 or 5 hours time we're going to find out where we are. But for now, I don't know. Now this happened a couple of days ago. Stars Arena was drained. It is an Avax based business. They were drained of all of their Avax, and it was quite a considerable amount of cash. So we're going to have a quick look at that. The amount of spam, that is absolutely ridiculous. How am I supposed to read any comments with that going on? Give me 1 second. What I tend to do is screenshot all of this, and then I will send it to the relevant authorities. Excuse me. Okay. So, Avalanche-based Web3 social media platform Stars Arena recently faced a significant security breach that resulted in a loss of $3 million on October the 6th. In response to the incident, the Stars Arena team has taken swift action at securing funding to mitigate the impact and enhance security measures. They have also outlined plans for a comprehensive security audit before reopening their smart contract. Important news: we've secured the resources to close the gap. Additionally, a special white hat development team is coming in to rapidly review the security of the platform. So, in the past, it has been hacked, but for very, very small amounts. It's been hacked for slightly larger amounts, and in this instance, it was hacked for $3 million. These security incidents have triggered mixed reactions within the crypto community. Some have doubts about the platform's security vulnerabilities, while others continue supporting its potential. Hours after the hack, the Stars Arena team apologised for the breach. It revealed that their website has also been targeted by a DDoS attack. In their statement, the team expressed sincere regret for the incident, acknowledging that their smart contract had been exploited. Now, we're not going to go and look at Stars Arena, but I thought it was a good opportunity to go and look at the actual Avax price itself, because it's been on a little bit of a recovery in the last couple of weeks, going from $8.50 all the way up at one point to $11.50, but peaking out at about $10.60, and now it's back under psychological level of $10. And what I wanted to show you was that when we talk about why these moving averages are important, Avax is a great example. After the November 2021 highs, Avax came crashing down under its moving averages. It tried to get back above November last year, so 12 months ago. It's come down, it broke through, came down, it struggled. And if you look at where we are today, we have tried 2 more times to get above, and we haven't. So we're basically drowning. Avax is drowning, and every time we come up, we keep hitting the moving average and we come crashing down again. So what does this mean for Avax? It means it's moved into what I would consider to be a very key level of support, which is this level here, which is just under $10. This is the previous low, which was back in June 2021. We came down, we've kind of touched this key level of resistance once here, twice here. We did break below it here, but we've come back up. So what could happen for Avax? Well, there's 2 things to look at. Number 1 is this very, very sketchy line here at $6.30, I don't think we're going to get to. I think this is our line in the sand. I think this area we are at now, which is pretty much exactly where we are now, I think we're going to hold this line of support. And I think what we're going to do is something like this. And then next year, I think, along with the rest of the crypto market, we are going to move up. Now, obviously, everything we say on this channel, the most important thing to remember is, this is not financial advice. I am not your financial advisor. You are to do your own research. I'm just showing you some news about Avax in this instance and the price action of Avax itself. Why did I show you the news about Avax? Because Avax is one of those chains that has usage. It's being used the same way that Solana, Ethereum, Cardano, they're all being used. One of the articles we're going to get onto the watch out article is going to explain why I'm raising this, and it's what Vitalik or what they've said about Vitalik and Ethereum and the competition for Ethereum. And that's to do with not everything is going to get back to its all-time high in the next bull run. And this is important to remember because everybody thinks every token is going to retake its all-time high, and they're not. And that's never going to happen. There are going to be chains. Zombie chains exist, but there are going to be other chains that don't reclaim them. Internet Computer Protocol is never going to get back to its all-time high. Solana, it's going to struggle to get back to $250, if I'm being honest. But that doesn't mean you can't make money out of those coins. So let's have a look at the problem. The wrong part, hang on. Avax, however you look at it, has put in lower highs going back to August last year. We could probably keep going, but let's just go from August last year. Lower highs. And at some point you get to this decision point, if you like. And that decision point is where it has to make a decision. And with a lot of these tokens that I've looked at, that tends to be towards the end of this year. This chart for Avax looks like most other charts, most other altcoins. They've had the big run up, they had the blow off top, they've come down, and they've spent the last year or so struggling with lower highs because everything loses liquidity against Bitcoin. That's the long and short of it. So I'm showing this because I believe that Avax at $10. Okay, let's say for argument's sake, the all-time high, what was the all-time high? The all-time high was let's say $150 for argument's sake. And we are at $10. So we are less than 90%. We're 95% away from the all-time high. Now let's say that Avax only ever goes back to, have a look. Let's say Avax only ever goes back to $30. So let's say next year or the year after we see this, we see a breakout, and then we see some kind of action like this. It takes Avax to $30, $40. That's a 3 or a 4x in the next 12 months, say. That's a 300 or 400% return. Now, the downside is potentially $5. The upside is $30, $40. We were at this price in August last year. We were at this price in February this year. That was $22. So if we do have a breakout towards the end of this year, beginning of next year, we could quite easily get to $21, $22. We could quite easily get to $30. So look at these altcoins and look at these as the accumulation phase of these altcoins. Try and think about which altcoins you want to back in the bull run. You want to back Cardano, XRP, Solana, Avax, or do you want to back altcoins that haven't had their all-time high? They weren't around in the previous bull run. And think about where it's going to go. Web3 Superstar says he smells pumps. I smell pumps. I smell pumps indeed, but I'm not going to say that on the live stream. That's your comment, not mine. This is not financial advice. So, would I buy Avax at this price? Yes. Do I hold Avax? Yes. A small bag of Avax. This is probably not even 1% of my portfolio. But I like the chain. I like the fact that it is used. It has what's the word? It has utility on it. It has volume. Not as much as Ethereum, not as much as Solana, but it has volume. So take a look at Avax. Not financial advice, but it's one of those coins that's going to have potentially a decent future. Now let's move on, or Web3 Superstar gets me in trouble. I can't read any chat because it is full of spam, which obviously needs to be sorted out. Let me restart app. Me 1 second. Need to reopen the app, and then we're going to talk about XRP. We're going to talk about some potential price movements. I think XRP is just waiting to tear. It spent 2 years in a fight. You're right, I can't say what you've just said, Web3 Superstar, but I do tend to agree. What people seem to forget is that it's an industry, and because it's an industry, people like to speculate as well. So as well as the machine making money out of disaster, there are people speculating. So Forbes predicts an $8 trillion pump into XRP and Bitcoin markets amid looming US dollar collapse. In a latest article, Forbes Journal highlighted an unprecedented shift approaching the crypto market, with XRP positioned at the core. It illuminated a monumental prevalence that has the potential to ripple by XRP. I don't even know what that says. The Forbes report argued the potential of a shock $8 trillion vacating the US monetary system for XRP and Bitcoin markets amid a projected US greenback collapse. First of all, in the short term, the American dollar is not going to collapse. There are people talking about the fact that America has a mountain of debt, and that is something which, although I agree with, people need to take statistics side by side. Excuse me, with other statistics, such as the fact that China has 3 times the amount of debt that America has. So if this is a power play by China, India, and the Middle East to overthrow the greenback, to do that, you need to dump onto the American dollar to devalue it. People then point to the fact that China sold, I don't know what the amount was, $18 billion worth of American bonds in the last 12 months. And people are making a big deal out of this. That's only 1 or 2% of the total debt that China holds in American dollars. So if this is going to happen, it needs a different monetary system to allow it to happen, because you can't try and devalue somebody's currency when your currency is already way behind in terms of its own devaluation. So there's a lot of this kind of speculation that the American dollar is finished, and potentially in 50 years it will be. But at this moment in time, it certainly isn't. And things like CBDCs and things like stablecoins are turning the US dollar into the reserve currency of crypto. And I think I'm the first person to mention that. Who knows? But I think I am. If you look at it, where do people hold their money? They hold it in USDT or USDC, maybe even TUSD. Very few people hold it in digital yuan because of how it's regulated. Nobody holds digital rubles. So where is this power play to overthrow the American dollar? If crypto is going to grow 100-fold in the next 10 years and the American dollar is at the heart of the crypto industry, how is it going to lose to China and Russia and India? I can't see that future at this moment in time. That's something to bear in mind. So when you see these kind of headlines, I always do that during the streams. Always highlight a tweet, and it always flies me off somewhere. So it is 33 trillion in debt. China is 99 trillion in debt, roughly. Debt is a problem. Debt is a massive problem because your currency spirals and you go into a death spiral where you can't print money, because the more you print, the more of a death spiral you go into. It's a disaster. But what people need to do is look at who does America owe the debt to. Look at that. When you break debt down, everybody has debt. The UK, Europe, America, China, they all have debt. When you start to divide the debt out into various different parts, you realize it's actually not that much. So if you look at American pensions, if you look at how much money is owed to America, if you look at how much money is owed to Japan, if you look at all of these things and you divide it out, it's not 33 trillion in debt to one person or one entity. A lot of it is internal debt to America. That's something else to bear in mind. He believes that central banks will stay dedicated to increasing their stability sheets in a single type or one other. Wooden described Bitcoin and gold as essential hedges towards the looming menace of inflation. Now, inflation is more of a problem for me than debt, because inflation makes everybody poorer. And obviously that's not a good thing. But why does everybody become poor? Because demand outstrips supply. And when you have the kind of pandemic that we've just had, where we've closed down manufacturing, deliveries and shipments were delayed, all these kind of things, that pushes inflation up, because you can't get the supply of goods where it needs to go fast enough, supply people, and that's why prices go up. You're now starting to see prices come down quite dramatically, and that's going to see off inflation, because you can't put so much money into an economy and a system, not expect inflation. But it doesn't take 20 years to get inflation down. It takes 2, 3, 4, 5 years to wear off the different effects. So in the end, Forbes believes the large devaluation or lack of worth on the facet of the US greenback amounting to 8 trillion might see cryptocurrencies declare the quantity. It's absolute nonsense, this article. The market is 1.1 trillion for argument's sake. 8 trillion leaving the US market would rework the crypto trade into a 10 trillion trade. Now, that's where do I think that, in answer to that question, I think that the crypto market is going to increase to about 6 to 8 trillion in the next bull market. That's where I see it going, which kind of ties into the article. I don't see all of that $8 trillion coming from America, however. I see a large proportion of it coming from America, but there are other forces at play. You know, the world is a big place. You have Africa, Asia, Europe. You have South America. You have lots of different continents that will want to buy into Bitcoin, especially because it is seen as the inflation hedge. There is only 21 million Bitcoin. As we know, there's only 20 million Bitcoin when you take out Satoshi's lost million. 20 million Bitcoin divided amongst 1 billion people is a very small fraction of Bitcoin. per person. So where this is going to go is there's going to be a supply shock in Bitcoin, which I've said. Now, I don't know whether the article was paid for or whether it was bias when it includes the XRP in this. Now, XRP is one of those nice coins where if we look back, we have higher lows on the daily time frame going back for a long way, and I can easily see before the end of the year, I can easily see another run at this fabled price here, which is $1. Okay, I know we're at 51 cents now. We have a long way to go. The way the markets are, I can see another run at $1 by the end of the year. I'm not saying we're going to get there and stay there. We could kind of see this action over the course of the next 6 months where we don't. Maybe we hit 75 cents. Maybe we only get to 70 cents. But XRP, for me, it's the standout cryptocurrency because of the news that it's had. Because of the court case, and every time the SEC tries to take XRP back to court, the judge throws it out. Torres throws it out. So XRP has massively bullish news attached to it, and that for me makes XRP another coin. Again, full disclosure, I hold XRP. I don't hold a massive bag. I do hold a big bag of XRP. I see it as being one of the big winners in the next bull run. And if you go back to the start of the year, it was at 36 cents, 43 cents, 48 cents, 47 cents. Now we're at 51 cents. So it's slowly gaining momentum. Is 50 cents a good price for XRP? Absolutely. This is one coin. I mean, if we take a more recent chart, only going back to the start of the year, you will see again higher lows since the start of the year. The year started at, what's that, 30 cents. So it's done 66% so far this year. So expect at some point in the next 3 months, expect something like this to happen and hit one of these fib levels, and then maybe we do this towards next year, and I think we're going to retry $1 quite soon. Again, there are people watching this thinking that's only a 1x or whatever it is, 2x. It's still a huge return on your cash. Anyway, I have just seen the time, and I have run so late on this stream that I'm going to have to start whizzing through. As Web3 says, make babies, not war. Elon Musk. I agree with that statement wholeheartedly. Joanna, can you please not post that into chat? We are not going to discuss any of that on the stream. It's not something that I want to have in the chat. So can we please all avoid putting flags or comments into chat? Thank you very much. Good morning to Lidong. Good morning to Fire. Nice to see you. Thanks for coming along. Thanks for joining. I just need to do a quick refresh so I can catch up with where we are. 1 second. There we go. Right. Okay. So this is what I said last week. I don't know what topic we were covering, but I said last week, not every single coin that hit an all-time high 2 years ago is going to hit an all-time high in the next bull market cycle. And this very highly paid gentleman at Bloomberg agrees with me. So, alternative layer 1s attempting to dethrone Ethereum might be running on borrowed time, according to Jamie Coutts. Coutts said on social media that the rise of Ethereum layer 2s is helping to take revenue away from ETH competition. This is also true. The rise in L2s has meant that Ethereum has started to regain market share from the altcoin layer 1s. In the past year, active L2 growth outpaced alternative layer 1s by a 2x. Look at that. Interesting. Cout said that alternative smart contract platforms are facing a number of headwinds that threaten their survival, including inflationary tokenomics, excessive block space, and Ethereum's rapidly growing network effects. Despite the current bear market, block space demand is in a long-term structural uptrend. However, the crypto industry is plagued with serious issues that are entirely of its own making. Although a cratering treasury market may invalidate our thesis, many alternative layer 1s, due to inadequate demand and subpar tokenomics, we maintain a negative outlook. You know what? For once, I do wholly agree with this article, mainly because he said what I said last week. And that is that when you look at coins to buy, when you look at especially layer 1s, there's new ones. Sui has come out recently, and one I like. When I reviewed Sui on the stream, what I said was this needs to be adopted. It needs to have activity on the chain. You look at Phantom, not the wallet, the actual blockchain. What's it doing? You look at Avalanche. What's it doing? You look at Polygon, which is a layer 2. What's that doing? All of these layer 1s and layer 2s are competing at this moment in time for the same users. What is going to attract people to use Cardano, for example? What's going to attract people to Solana? It's a little bit like when you look at movie stars and you say, oh, what does Tom Cruise do? Tom Cruise makes action movies. Instantly recognizable. You look at Jean-Luc Picard, and what do you say about Jean-Luc Picard? You say, Edwardian actor who's in sci-fi films. And you'd be right, because it's easily identifiable. That actor plays those roles. If I said to Web3 Superstar, for example, if I said to him, what is Solana best known for? He is more than likely going to say NFTs, and he'd be right. If I said Cardano, what's that instantly identifiable as? I would say liquid staking, I would say security, and I would say Africa. I would pick a couple of different instantly recognizable reasons why that chain should exist. If you said to me, at this moment in time, if you said to me, Sui, I would say nothing. It has nothing on it. It is fast. It has an incredible tech behind it. It has an incredible team behind it, but it doesn't identify as any type of chain. We know what it wants to do, but it hasn't achieved that. So when you buy a layer 1, an alternative layer 1 to Ethereum, because the argument should be, why should I invest, or why should you invest your money in a layer 1 outside of Ethereum? Why? Why would you invest in XRP, Solana and Cardano? And if you can give yourself a reason why, diversification, active blockchain, great community, usage, utility, etc., then buy that coin. If you're going to buy it because it's new and it's shiny, like Sui, which I do like, by the way, you're buying it more on speculation other than a potential value that's driven from holding that coin. So make sure that you don't just buy something because it's big and shiny. Phantom, for example, It's a great chain. It's got lovely graphics. Everything's got really cool names. Nobody's using it. So always look at what's going on that chain. And I do agree that layer 2s are a huge threat to other layer 1s, because layer 2s sit on Ethereum, and Ethereum is just a huge turtle sailing through space, and all of these layer 2s are on the back of it, utilizing it, adding activity to it, using it for how it should be used, and your other layer 1s have to compete with that. So for me, that's why you should have a huge bag of Ethereum in your wallet. Again, not financial advice. Now we are going to skip one of the articles and move on to the Quiet Maid because we have overrun. This is what happens when I have a day off and I drink coffee. I have too much energy and too much information, too much opinion, but what I need to do is just go back to being tired and getting through the stream in 45 minutes instead of running out of time. We're going to skip from the SEC news, and we're going to look at the Quiet Maid, which is, again, I'm very negative towards NFTs, but I'm more negative towards NFTs that are just pictures of rocks or monkeys. I'm not negative on NFTs as a concept, and that there's a difference. I don't want you to go out and buy an NFT of a dog because you'll lose 95% of your money, but I am positive on tickets, on fractionalized ownership, thing to do with art especially. I'm very positive on that, and this I think is potentially a good thing to look at. Now I can't read any chat because of all the spam in the chat today, so it's very difficult for me to see any comments, but for the regulars out there, thank you for coming as always. It's a shame I can't read anything that you're saying, but that's just one of those things that happens. Okay, let's crack on. Why am I bullish on how this works? Well, first of all, let me make it a little bit bigger so you can read it. So The Quiet Maid is a feature film funded by the sale of NFTs, and it has secured a global sales deal with Ibero-American entertainment firm Film Sharks. The film, directed by Miguel Faust, follows the story of a Colombian maid working for a wealthy Spanish family. It raised $750,000 through the sale of NFTs, which offered holders behind-the-scenes access and control over a portion of the film's proceeds. The film will have its own world premiere next month at the Tallinn Black Nights Film Festival. Is there anything else that we need to read about this? Based on a short film. Now, we don't probably need to read more of this, but what I will say is I would expect to see more and more of this type of NFT project come up in the future. You remember, was it Justin Bieber or somebody recently, I think it was in September, he sold his song proceeds. He sold them to NFT holders. So if you hold one of the song NFTs, you will receive royalties from that song. In this instance, you will receive some royalties from The Quiet Maid. Now, the reason I'm so negative about NFTs is very simple. They don't hold any utility, any value. It's a race to zero. What's the point of holding it? Why buy an NFT for $500 when you can buy $500 of Bitcoin, which is an inflation hedge? That's the question I always ask, and in most instances you can't answer it, because very simply NFTs are a waste of time and money. Now, when it comes to fractionalized ownership, that's a completely different kettle of fish, as we say. The reason I like the ownership attached to NFTs is that, unlike shares in a company, you can have specific projects. We've covered a lot of NFTs in the summer that were talking about paintings, that we're talking about art galleries, we're talking about Taylor Swift concert tickets. My favourite one of all is, of course, coffee VIP memberships, where you get the ability to buy a coffee that nobody else can buy, and that for me is the kind of what's the word for it? The benefit, the joy, the one-upmanship that you have from being made to feel like you are unique, if you like. And with things like this, where you can go and watch the trailer of this film, you can go and look at the storyline. If you're into sci-fi films or horror films or love stories, and you like this kind of stuff, and you think this film is going to go well, and you buy one of these NFTs for $100, you will get a combination of utilities with that. You'll get to see the film first online, for example, or you'll get to see behind the scenes. You'll get AMAs, you'll get a percentage of the rights, you'll get all of these things associated with the film. So you might just want to, from a charity point of view, you might just want to see this film made because it's about a story that you feel passionately about. Maybe it's a documentary about animals, maybe it's a documentary about your country, whatever it might be. So NFTs give these companies immediate access to the liquidity they need to make films or renovate museums or churches or whatever else it might be. But instead of being a donation, you are given a piece of history associated with that. Maybe your name gets written on the wall, maybe your name's in the credits, whatever it might be. So I like this. I think this is a good use of NFTs. I think it's better than issuing coins. I think it's better than having a fundraise, because you're buying people in to the project. So I like that. I think this is a good idea. Now what we're going to do now is, we've only overrun by about 7 minutes. We're going to move on to the quiz. How are we doing for price action? We are falling out of the range. Let's have a quick look at TradingView to see if we have. There's 27.4. Remember the two prices, 27.4 and 28. That's the range we're stuck in. If we break 27.4, we fall out of the range. That is the most important thing that you need to worry about at this moment in time. There we go. So there is the line right there at 27.4. There's the line we have to hold, and if we don't, I expect that 26 or 25.8. That's where I can see us going. So we'll leave that on the chart while we do the quiz. And as I say, I can't see any chat. I've not been able to read any comments today. I wish that the spam was fixed, but it isn't. I can't do anything about it. I just have to carry on with the stream. I've not been able to read a single comment all day. I don't know who's in here. So anyway, let's just move on with the quiz. So what is the quiz? The quiz is very simply a little bit of fun that we have at the end of the stream. We talk about some quite difficult things on the stream, quite complex things on the stream, and sometimes we just want a bit of fun. So that's what we end the stream with, is a bit of fun. So all that's going to happen is I'm going to ask you a couple of questions. We are going to run out of time, as always. I'll ask you a couple of questions. The answers have to be put in lowercase. If you put them in uppercase, you're not going to win. So wherever you're watching, type the answer into chat, and I'll give you a shout out. Okay, first question. And again, this should be fairly easy. What I try and do is cover some of the projects that we've had on the stream today. So the first question, very simply, is the price of Avax at this moment in time is roughly $10. Roughly $10. Is that true or false? All you have to do is put true or false into chat. And we did the price action on Avax, so you should know pretty much whether I'm right or wrong. Marianne, Tariq, you know, it's the first time in an hour I've actually seen anybody's name other than Web3 Superstar. I haven't seen anybody's name all stream. The amount of spam in chat today is horrific. A big welcome to Dombra. Welcome to the stream if you are still here. Don't forget, smash the love heart, hit the follow button, and more importantly, join in. Join in, ask any questions you want, and we will try and answer them. Go. Don't know why that flicked over there like that, but there we go. So, very, very few answers this morning. Where is everybody today? Where is everybody? So, Sean, Marina, Marianne, Adi, Hero, Priyanka, congratulations. You are all correct. The price of Avax is, of course, just under $10. You are correct. Well done, everybody. Priyanka, if you could, just for 5 minutes, and Aimer, just for 5 minutes, stop posting crap in chat. I would greatly appreciate it. Okay? All you've done for an hour is paste nonsense to do with boxes. Just quit it and let me get through the quiz. Tariq, I am not ignoring you. I can't read any of your comments because every time I look at the screen, all I see is AMA doing nothing but post boxes. It's absolutely ridiculous today. Priyanka and AMA, they're the two people, they're just posting rubbish all day. So, let me ask another question. Right. And so I'm not ignoring you. I can't see anything that's been typed today, Tariq. I keep scrolling up and down to see comments. I can't see anything. I just can't see anything. It's beyond a joke. So, next question. XRP is roughly 50 cents. Is that true or false? Just have to type true or false into chat. Is XRP 50 cents or not? I know, Tariq, it's driving me pot. It's like Chinese water torture with these spammers, and they're getting worse. They're getting worse. There needs to be some kind of filter put on chat because you can't read anything. You can't see anything. I can't see anybody's comments, and I complain every month about it, and nothing gets done. So after May, June, July, August, September, nearly 6 months of me mentioning it, and not a single thing has been done. And I know the bots, I know they're not real people, I know there's no point in me mentioning their names, but something has to be done because it's destroying any kind of two-way communication that we have. So the numbers have picked up, but it's still really low numbers. So, Pipile, Oko, Adi, Magical, Free Signal. I can't even see if Tariq has got that one right. Tariq did get that one right. Very good. Is XRP 50 cents? Is it true or false? It is, of course, true. It's currently trading at 51 cents, which is a very good price, in all honesty. Very good price. Is it under 50 cents at the minute? Has it dropped? Really? No. Have we had some kind of capitulation? Well, haven't we? It's exactly 50 cents. Look at that. You can't see it on the screen, can you? There we go. It's exactly 50 cents. Look, I'll draw a little arrow. Nobody can see. Yes, they can. Exactly 50 cents. I couldn't have asked a more accurate answer. There we go. Thank you for pasting the same thing over and over again. Nibir and AMA, thank you very much. I'm just going to screenshot all of your names. All of you will be reported after the stream, so say goodbye to your accounts. Next question. Is the total supply of Bitcoin 69 million Bitcoin? Is that true or false? Are there 69 million Bitcoin? Is that true or false? Now, I'm just going to point something out here. You look at what happens with XRP, you will see where I think we're going to go next, which is from here all the way up. So if you look at where I think we're going to go with XRP, as I said before, remember some of these dips are there to buy liquidity. So I think XRP could hit 55 cents within the next... So I think by the end of next week, we could be at 55 cents for XRP. If you look at what happens, we come down, we test the line, we bounce, we go up. Bounced, we went up. Come down, we've broken down, we're going to go up. That would be my target. No idea if that box just dropped either. And it doesn't help that the app doesn't work either. Can't read chat. I can't see anything. Gonna go back in if I can see it. If not, then can't see anything. Right, well, the answer is, of course, false. There are not 69 million Bitcoin at all. There are only ever going to be 21 million Bitcoin, of which 1 million is gone because it was minted by Tony. I didn't catch the first part of your question, Tariq. So I can't see what you've put, but I mean, so anyway, listen, I can't see anything today. I'm gonna have to go and comment. The actual chat itself is just gone. So I'm going to go and report all of this. I will drop a box, but I'm going to call it a day because I can't see anything. The stream has been great. The chat has been terrible. So Massey, Lebos, Dombra, whoever else is here, thank you for coming in and thank you for watching. I can't see chat. It's just a constant stream of spam. And it's not even funny. So I'm going to call it a day. I'm going to drop a box. Yeah, well, you don't... Oh, I know what Tariq is saying. No. You gain 5 cents, but it's a 10% pump in the next 5 to 7 days. So you work out, if you put $1,000 into, if you'd have caught at 50 cents, if you catch XRP, I think it's going to go to 55, maybe 56 cents in the next week. So you would gain 10, 11% on that trade in the next week and a half. So imagine if you're doing 2 of them a month, you're making 20% a month. That's a decent return. So it's not financial advice. It's my opinion. Wait for the markets. Give it 3 hours, 4 hours. See if we come down even further. If we do, I'm personally going to be buying XRP because I want a nice 10% return in the next week. So it is only 5 cents a coin, but the coin is only 50 cents. So it's a 10% gain, 10 or 11% gain, something along those lines. That's how I would see it anyway. But I can't read chat. It's absolutely ridiculous, this. So I'm gonna drop a box. Thank you to everybody that I can't see in chat. Remember, if you want to get in touch with us, all of our contact details are below the stream. In the information panel, you'll find all the links you need to get in touch with us. We are Crypto Warehouse. We do stream. We stream on the world's most popular streaming site. So go and check us out there. Thank you, everybody. I'm not going to carry on with the stream because I can't read chat. And hopefully we'll get that sorted in the next few days. But thank you, everybody. Thank you, Web3 Superstar. Thank you, Tariq. Thank you to everybody that's come. I will see you all in the morning.